What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. Tuesday morningers, congratulations. Y'all made it through Monday. Monday nighters, you made it through Monday too, all right? So, round of applause. I think like Sunday night and Monday morning is like the worst. But hey, we're all here, all right? So let's just be happy about that. All right, I have a great show set up for you guys today. In Behind the Feed and Off the Record, Beyoncé and Jay-Z's divorce is on Polymarket. Brandy and Monica are back on stage, but I also have some off the record and behind the feed information about that whole fiasco that started. Also, Charlie Kirk's trial will be the most sealed in Utah history. In lead stories, we're going to talk about Harvey Sisson being the new face of the Young Democrats, and Donald Trump responds to the No Kings protest. In quick news, we're going to talk about Ashanti, Gucci Mane and his wife, also Bishop Marvin, and NBA YoungBoy. As always, we're going to close out the show with question of the day, social discussion of the day, and comments of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Yeah, let's get it. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, quickly in breaking news before we get to off the record, Amazon Internet Service gradually recovers as Amazon Web Services restores operation. All right, I want to throw this at the top of the show because I am recording now, but in case this comes out really late, it's because servers where I record and upload and do all of my stuff has been acting erratic all day. Now, some of you, I'm sure, might have been affected, either your workplace or for those of you especially who work from remote. It's been chaotic all day, okay? Just even internet itself has been down. So I want to give you guys a little update as of right now and also give you a background of what happened. Internet connectivity is gradually returning to normal after a major Amazon Web Service outage disrupted hundreds of websites and apps across the globe earlier today. The disruption, which began around 12:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:11 a.m. BS time. I don't know what BST time, affected several popular online platforms, including Reddit, Snapchat, Venmo, Ring, Pokemon Go, and Amazon's own Alexa and mobile apps. Amazon, which powers a significant portion of the world's cloud infrastructure, confirmed that the issue originated from its DynamoDB endpoint, a core database service that underpins many internet operations. So, like I said, that's just the kind of like the background information. Whenever something like this happens, you never realize how reliant we are on like this one service. You know, you think about Amazon, you're like, yeah, that's where I order whatever it is that you order on Amazon and it comes to you the next day, right? You don't realize that a lot of these major companies do so many things in the back end that we don't even realize. For me, before I started to record, I noticed Instagram being a little bit slow, and I thought there might be something with Instagram, but then I realized it's just internet in general. So even if you are not working on an app or a platform that was housed or operates off Amazon, just internet in general was very, very slow. And again, I want to put this at the top of the show, just in case this show ends up only coming out at like 11 or 1 o'clock, or I don't get it out. Just know that I tried to record earlier, and they even said that processing times, etc., would be a little bit longer. So thank you for your patience, and let's carry on with the show. All right, our first behind the feed story. Fans are betting on Beyoncé and Jay-Z's divorce in 2025 on Polymarket. Okay, so Polymarket is a site that people bet on everything, and Jay-Z and Beyoncé are on there, and people have been sending this to me for weeks now. And today I'm like, you know what, here, just let me address it, because a lot of people send it to me on the weekend. There's a lot of action on there. And because I'm one of the ones who kind of broke the story of telling you guys about things that have been going on in the Jay-Z and Beyoncé land. I think I've been talking about it since December when everything hit with Tony Busby. So there is a little bit more rumbling on the betting site, and I'm not going to tell you guys to bet or not bet. That's all on y'all, what you want to do with your money. However, I will say that your bet is a little safer than if you do bet that they will get a divorce. It is a little bit safer than it would be on the summertime, than it was in the summertime when things were getting better. And like I said, this month now with the Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, and her daughter suing Des, Rock Nation, and Jay-Z, it has opened up a whole other can of worms now in the Beyoncé Jay-Z orbit. Still up in the air, but apparently how things go here, Beyoncé will decide what to do. From what I'm hearing, again, this is behind the feed and off the record. This is our new segment where we have, taken out the stories out of lead stories or quick stories that are kind of buzzing around, but we're hearing it's alleged, et cetera, et cetera. We reserve this right to be able to tell you stories like this. Okay, so nothing is 100, but y'all know if it's coming from me, it's 99.9999 because I definitely put in the work and do and speak to my sources. Okay, so having said that, some of you may have seen, and I'm going to put up the picture here. Oh, before I leave Polymarket, I just want to show you here. This is one of the tickets. If you bet $1,450.50, you could win $1,679.29. That is Beyoncé and Jay-Z's divorce in 2025. And here you also see the graph that in the beginning of the year, it was a lot higher and now has dwindled down, like I said, over the summertime. And you're going to see it's going to start picking back up as the chatter begins to continue, especially now with Jay-Z's new court case, right? You could just almost put your money on, hey, whatever happens with Jay-Z in court, you could see potentially you making more money on Polymarket. And I'm jumping around here today. I'll show you guys some pictures of Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Beyoncé in Qatar. And here you'll see a post. Beyoncé spotted in Doha wearing I think this is a baha. I don't know if it's a hijab or whatever. While shopping in Vendome Mall, joins Jay-Z on his business trip. Now, we told you about Jay-Z and his business trip, meeting with this royal family that operates and I think operates a $1.5 trillion fund, and they're talking about AI and entertainment, etc. So here's Beyoncé in the mall. This was at the YSL, and here's also. Do I have a picture of Jay? I thought I had a picture of Jay too. Anyways, we already showed you the picture of Jay, so I don't know what happened to it. Maybe I deleted it by accident. Anyways, not important. So they're out there on this meeting, but they're out there on this meeting because they are a business. And this is what Beyonce's whole issue is with Jay is combined, they are a powerhouse. Combined, they are Jay and Beyoncé. And Jay's mix-up with Diddy really hurt their overall brand. Then Jay-Z's court case with Tony Busby and Jane Doe, that continued to hurt the brand. Jay-Z kind of maneuvered his way out of it, but now with the Rock Nation and everything, so things aren't great in the Carter household. So yes, you will see them moving outside and you will see them presenting well, of course, because together they are a bigger brand. But Beyonce's whole entire issue is, are you going to be able to get your way out of this and make sure that our brand remains untouched? Okay, so you're going to still see them out, but just know that there is some issues. Like every marriage, there's issues behind the scenes that's going on. And I think a lot of people are always like, oh, this is impossible. It's impossible. It's not impossible. Marriages go through these things all the time. And, I tell you guys things that I've heard from people in their camp or whatever. And there's more things that I have heard that would sound even more salacious to you guys that I reserve to not tell you because I don't want y'all to think that I'm making up stuff. But I'm telling you that it's pretty bad. Okay. There's been some rumors of them actually even being separated, and they still want to present to us that they are together. Okay. So let's just leave it at that for now. Like I said, marriages go through ups and downs all the time. So we'll watch this closely. But for those who are asking me on Polymarket, hey, it's low now, depending on Jay-Z and the court case and what's going on with him in the public eye. And of course, there's other private things going on. You know, I would say keep your money. If you can get your money in now, get it in now, and you know, we'll see what happens later on. But if it's cheaper now to get in now, kind of like the stock market. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second behind the feed story. Brandy back on stage during Indianapolis tour stop after abruptly ending the Chicago show. I'll tell you guys why I'm sounding so sarcastic in a minute. The caption is, Brandy is back on stage after the Boy Is Mine tour ended early in Chicago. And here's another highlight. Back and better. Brandy back on stage after last night's dehydration incident. Yes, Brandy is back on stage in Indianapolis after dehydration incident caused her to leave the stage in Chicago mid-performance last night. All right, yo. My bad, y'all. I missed this, and I didn't need for somebody to call me and be like, bro, are you serious? I should have realized this. My experience in the industry, I should have smelt this one coming. Now, yesterday, and you know what? It's because I'm such a fan. I fanned out, and I'm like, oh, they could never do anything wrong. I took it up, actually. So yesterday, I told you guys about what everybody was talking about online, how Brandy walked off stage mid-performance. She had her mic. She's like, oh, things are not sounding right. We showed you the behind-the-scenes videos of her talking with the tech people saying she doesn't sound good. She exit off the stage. Monica comes on, gives this speech, sits down, and Chicago doesn't get The Boy Is Mine. Oh, it's still up on our Instagram, by the way. At the Trend Out Loud show, you'll see everything there, okay? So at the time I was recording yesterday's show, Beyoncé, Brandy put out a statement, and the statement read, hey, Chicago and everybody out there, thank you so much for your well wishes, but due to a lot of like rehearsal and all of that stuff, I got dehydrated, and thank you, Monica, for coming out and finishing the show for me. I went to see a local doctor. I feel so much better right now, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for your concern. And I was like, whatever. And I even showed you guys my hoodie in yesterday's episode to be like, I'm such a fan. During their verses, they put this hoodie out after, and I ordered it, okay? Love Brandy and Monica. So I just said the story, and I was just like, the only thing I touched on was, I don't necessarily believe, or I didn't believe at the time, the statement of her saying she's dehydrated. And I was like, what are you talking about? We see you being upset with the technicians. We see you not being happy with your sound. Why not just come out and say in a statement, hey, it was our first night with some technical issues, or the beginning of our tour. And I think it was the first night or whatever. I'm like, that statement, it doesn't sound fair to me. It doesn't sound like it makes sense to me, but whatever. I'm such a fan. Let's not even think about it. Go Brandy and Monica. Then I spoke to somebody yesterday, and I was like, oh, do you guys not see the move here? Every single person is now aware of the Brandy and Monica tour. It's everywhere. If you didn't know they were on tour, you for sure know now. And they got free publicity from every blog, every site, TMZ, everywhere. Well done. When the marketing works on me, who's the master marketer, my hat's off, man. Like I said, because I'm such a super fan, I was like, But like I tell you guys about like Megan Thee Stallion and what's his name, and Klay Thompson, like I know people in the industry who are like, let's put these together and we'll do this for this album, do whatever. Like I told you about Cardi B, like they set up her album to come out of the court a couple of weeks after her court coverage. She got so much free press from that court coverage. It was insane. So much so that she sold her album with covers of herself in court. Like Cardi's not deposition, but Cardi's her being on the stand, she knew that her album was coming out and she was being extra Cardi and the clips and all of that stuff. Like, it was brilliant. But this went over my head, and somebody was like, bro, are you joking? That watched the show yesterday. So yeah, shout out to Brandy and Monica. Beautiful marketing. Very, very, very well done. We all talked about it. There was somebody on our Instagram page who actually went to the show and was like, yeah, I confirm all of this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was in Chicago, and now I'm going to have to go to the next show because I got to see The Boy Is Mine. And it just sparked, we got to see The Boy Is Mine. After 27 years, we finally got to this, et cetera, et cetera. And another thing that also came out yesterday, shout out to Torre, who I was with in the courtroom in the Diddy trial, who is a legendary journalist with MTV. Back in Total Request Live days and all of that stuff. And he was like, yo, are you guys forgetting about Brandy and Monica and how at the MTV Video Awards, before the first time they ever performed it live, they had a fight backstage and Monica put hands on Brandy right before they went out. And they never spoke about it except for one time where Brandy acknowledged, yeah, we had a confrontation like 10 years later. So this tour was like 27 years in the making. We all know that there was like confrontation between the two of them. They're not best friends. But like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the tour works better together. If Brandy goes out on her own, it's just Brandy. If Monica goes out on her own, it's just Monica. Them together, and now with the first night or one of the first nights being like, they already started drama. Now every show is going to be like, yo, are we going to get drama? Like, what's going on? So, yo, that's great, man. Very, 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 very well done. And I don't care. Get your tickets anyways, because those are my two favorite R&B acts of all times. And hey, maybe I even might go catch a show. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our third behind the feed story. Charlie Kirk trial, Utah prepares. Is the Charlie Kirk unaliving the most sealed case in Utah history? Okay, as you guys know, I always like to keep you guys up to date with stories that we have talked about over time. And I came across this today. I totally forgot that the trial is starting, or I think it's maybe pre-trial, is starting October the 30th. And we haven't talked about Charlie Kirk in a long time, since the whole Candace Owens fiasco, etc. And her, kind of really like unearthing a lot of things that were not in the news. The fact that Tyler Robinson is not really the person, the father didn't really turn him in. It's really, we should be looking into the roommate, etc., etc., etc. So things have kind of calmed down. Candace Owens herself said, hey, I'm going to take 10 days off. We know why. She talked about some people, and the feds were looking for her, and a bunch of people were looking for her, right? So I just got a text message about the internet outage. That's hilarious. From my cell phone provider. Anyways, sorry about that. Yes, I still might go down and cover it, but I just wanted to let you guys know that now the new rumblings are kind of like the things that Candace was talking about of, is it going to be sealed? What are we going to see? What are we not going to see? And here is Demza, a reputable journalist, speaking about the Charlie Kirk trial, and he has gone viral a couple of times with the things that he has said. Take a listen.
Is the Charlie Kirk shooting the most sealed case in Utah history? While speculation online claimed the investigation was sealed, Utah court filings show the case remains public and active, though specific evidence motions are under limited seal pending trial. Only time will tell what happens in this case and what evidence is presented.
Specific evident motions are under limited seal pending trial. That's the key here. What is going on, and why is it sealed? Why is the FBI giving us no information and just want us to stay thinking about Tyler Robinson? Well, we do already know why, because it keeps us quiet. It keeps everybody, okay, Charlie Kirk was unalived. Okay, they caught somebody. Okay, cool. But literally, like, Pierce Morgan is the latest one I heard. He had like a forensic expert up there. He had a somebody from the Army who was a trained GUN Sniper. And he was saying that a lot of the things don't make sense. So because there's so many things that don't make sense, a lot of people are still kind of like trying to get into this. I think that's why they're trying to keep things away from us in the public eye. So I will stay up to date on this, like I promised, and like I always do. I'll find out if there's going to be things unsealed. If they are, I will definitely head down to Utah October the 30th and find out what I can for you guys. And also, if you guys watched yesterday's episode, we told you about Sonia Massey, the 36-year-old woman who was unalived by a police officer, I think Sean Grayson. That trial started today as well. That was the lady who called the police to her house she felt like there was just something weird in her house. They came, they checked it out, everything was fine, and they were kind of questioning her. Maybe she had some mental health issues. They weren't too sure. 5 or 10 minutes later, she was unalived because of a hot water on her stove. Okay. If you guys want more details, check it out on our Instagram page, the Trend Out Loud Show, or just check out yesterday's episode 595. But those are two prominent cases that are happening right now that we will definitely stay on top of for you. And I think Sonia Massey is in Chicago or in Illinois. So we might check that out. Right now it is jury selection. I haven't heard anything too much happening today, but that's something that we'll stay up to date on. And also, of course, Charlie Kirk and Tyler Robinson. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our first lead story. Harry Sisson is the new face of the Young Democrat Party. Okay. Now, I'm going to play this video for you from this 23-year-old named Harry Sisson. And I'm pretty sure it was yesterday's show or maybe Sunday's show or Saturday's show, where we played for you Donald Trump in a private jet dropping things on the No Kings protesters. And we also showed you JD Vance. And I said, look, JD Vance's video, although it's not great with Trump wearing a crown, I was like, it falls in line with how they troll and all that stuff. But I thought Donald Trump's video crossed the line. And a lot of people thought it crossed the line because he was dropping things, number two, like when you go to the washroom, number two, on Americans who were peacefully protesting. Now, this is an AI video. Of course, it's not real, but you got a lot of backlash. Now, today, this 23-year-old young Republican named Harry, yesterday, he put out a video, and if you guys have seen the video, he's the main one that you could see there. And Donald Trump and whoever made this AI video, for some reason, singled out Harry. Now, I'm going to play a quick clip for you, and you're going to hear what Harry is saying about Donald Trump and JD Vance. And then I'm going to let you know why I think this is so significant and why I think this is the first major huge mistake that Donald Trump, JD Vance, MAGA, and the Republican Party has made. Take a listen.
Donald Trump attacked me on social media last night. That's right. He posted this really gross AI video where I'm included, and you just have to see for yourself to believe it's real. Take a look.
Okay, so he responded, and then he asked like a reporter to ask Donald Trump and JD Vance why he was the one that was singled out in the video. And then there's kind of like some back and forth, okay? Now, Harry presently has 816,000 followers on Instagram and 1 million plus on TikTok, okay? 23 years old. Now, for my daily listeners, you guys know that I'm independent. I talk about Donald Trump and Republican Party. When they do good things, I highlight it. And when the Democrats do good things, I highlight it as well. And one of the things that I have said from even before Donald Trump won, I said that the Republican Party, especially Donald Trump, has done a masterful job of working with and highlighting and amplifying social media and young Republicans. Going on the Joe Rogan podcast, Kamala Harris did not go on. Sitting down with Aiden Ross, who's one of the biggest streamers in the world. And just the way how he was maneuvering in the young circle, I thought it was masterful, and I still think that they do a good job. I know a lot of you don't like it, even the trolling with Hakeem Jeffries. I do think it's too far, but again, it speaks to his base, and it speaks to a group of people who wouldn't normally be engaged in politics, and that's what Donald Trump does. He wants you to talk about him, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I was watching Stephen A. Smith on CNN this morning, and I told you guys yesterday that I'm no longer talking about Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to watch any videos of him, but I was working out and was on anyways. And Stephen A. Smith said the same thing that I have been saying for months, that Donald Trump literally just does things to antagonize you, and you have to outsmart him and not let him antagonize you, because this is chess, not checkers. Now, I say all of that to say Donald Trump is making a mistake at his own game. If you saw and watched anything that was happening this weekend during the No Kings protest, you saw one thing that was very, 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 very different. You saw a lot of young white males on social media talking negatively about Donald Trump and Republican Party and MAGA. 6 months ago, you didn't see any young white males, or if you did, it was very, very few. They were all talking about MAGA, Trump, or whatever. If you look at the percentages and the places where MAGA did well, you would say one of the biggest places that they increased was young white males. Targeting somebody like Harry and putting him on a stage so much so that JD Vance is responding to him and Trump is responding to him is a mistake for the Republican Party and a win for the Democratic Party. We still have another year before the midterm elections, or 11 months. Just like last year, when more and more and more people started seeing this MAGA movement and this shift of very progressive Democrats, and a lot of people ran to the center and ran to the right, it was because of social media. And it was because of things like this. And Donald Trump is making a huge mistake. I know for some of you Democrats, you're probably like, yo, great, Trent, don't tell him. But he is making a huge mistake. And his base that got him to the winning 7 swing states, winning the popular vote, is leaving him, and they're switching over to the Democrat side because he's going too far on things like immigration and videos like this, etc., etc. Having said that, I also want to highlight the No Kings protest just in general. When I was recording my show Saturday on like midday, it was just starting to warm up, and I asked a question like, hey, do you guys think it was effective or not? And I'm actually going to get into this in our second lead story. And then it really picked up. And then Sunday show, I was like, wow, like that was really good. And now today you see the ramifications of what 7 million people pulled off peacefully and the effect that it has. And somebody like Harry and a couple of other young white male Democrats really capitalized on the weekend. So y'all know that I'm always, highlighting and pushing new media, content creators, YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers. So we are the new media, and we are the new frontier of what everything is going to have to go through, especially politically. So shout out to Harry. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. Donald Trump on the No Kings protest. He said the demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. Now, I mean, this could have just been like a part 2 to the first lead story, but I really wanted to separate it to highlight the second huge mistake Donald Trump is making. I'm going to play you a video quickly so that you can hear in his own words. But nobody, not one single person on this planet can say that the crowds at the No Kings protest was small or that it was ineffective. That's just impossible. Now, you guys know I watch Fox and I watch CNN. I watch both because I feel like that's the only way to get the real truth, because one is always one-sided. Fox is always one-sided, except for Abby Phillip, because she has Scott Jennings on there and other Republicans. So I feel like when you watch Abby Phillip, you at least get the mix. If the days that I can't watch Fox and CNN, I'll at least watch that show because I like to get it from both sides and then draw my own opinion. Even Fox had to acknowledge how big it was. So I think Donald Trump's huge mistake is saying things like I'm about to play for you, because his base now, when he looks at them and says, well, this is not like this and that is not like this, they're going to say, well, hold on. You just said the No Kings rally, nobody showed up. Sir, it was one of the biggest protests in history. What are you talking about? Listen to Donald Trump.
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the No Kings protests?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. Demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. And by the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Saying those people are not representative, not representing their country, it's just like any a 10-year-old can see through that. And Donald Trump is starting to reveal his hand. No matter what happens, no matter what is the truth, no matter what is a lie, he will just say whatever he wants and just expect people to be like, okay, I didn't just see what I saw. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's in New York, like, I didn't just see it, 100,000 people on Broadway. Okay, no. Or on whatever street they were in Times Square or wherever. People from Chicago. Okay, I didn't just see the whole street being blocked off or every state in the country. Donald Trump is making a lot of mistakes. I have been saying it for the past couple of months. Joe Rogan has been saying it. Aiden Ross has been saying it. And a lot of other very prominent content creators. And like I told you in the first story, the shift of seeing the young white male, Donald Trump is going to be a lot of problems come midterm elections. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Ashanti hits the beach with her baby boy in Bahamas. All right, not much to this story. I actually posted this yesterday on our Instagram, the Trend Out Loud show, and I was supposed to put it in yesterday's show, so I put it in here today. For those of you who've been following me like way back, I've been saying that Ashanti's my baby mama from I've been trolling for years. Like, I've always loved Ashanti all the time. I used to do little jokes, and I used to superimpose me beside her on the beach and be like, yo, me and my baby mama just hanging out and chilling out. Of course, this was before Nelly. And then literally when her and Nelly got back together, I remember when he was talking to her on the Versus stage or whatever, people would literally send me DMs. But anyways, that's back in the day. Always loved Ashanti. Always thought she's beautiful. And of course, she has changed. And I think she's probably even more beautiful now. Face and body. I love pregnant women. I think pregnant women are even more gorgeous than their normal state. People call it that mom glow. I think it's beautiful, the transition that a woman's body goes through when they're having a child. And, listen, I follow on my Instagram, birthing mother pages. I think children and I think pregnancy is one of I personally think should be the first wonder of the world, not just with humans. You know what I mean? It's just females are able to grow humans or animals, grow babies in their stomachs. That is crazy. And then they're able to produce food for their child. a female or a woman's body to me should be the first wonder of the world. Like, it doesn't even make sense. I could like deep dive into it, even like how let's not even go into it, but I just think it is beautiful. And the connection like with a mother and child. So when I see pictures like this and I see some people online saying things like, they're just not realizing that this is the beauty of birth, right? And this is one of the things I cannot wait for if I ever do get married, if I ever do have kids. Like my wife, when she's pregnant, I will never leave her alone. She's going to get annoyed of me, trust me, and I don't care. And then after the baby, it's even worse because now we don't have to worry about the baby and her being pregnant. Like, yo, and I got to worry about postpartum, but I'm going to be there every step of the way. Ashanti, you look amazing. You look beautiful. And yeah, keep, rocking you and doing you respectfully. Nelly. All right, our second quick story. The next generation of U.S. millionaires will be plumbers and electricians. Just listen to this. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this, because I'm sure most of you be like, what does this have to do with entertainment or political news? It does have to do with viral news. NVIDIA CEO says the rise in AI isn't just about tech jobs. It's also boosting demand for skilled trade workers. As AI data centers expand globally, electricians, plumbers, and carpenters will be key to building them. He encourages Gen Z to consider trade schools, noting the industry could hit $7 trillion by 2030, which is 4 years away. With NVIDIA investing $100 billion in OpenAI and infrastructure. The CEO says the future of tech relies on both brains and hands. Now, why I'm saying this is because I often talk with you guys about AI and I ask you guys how you feel about it. And a couple of you guys are out in the comment section like, it's bad, it's going to take away jobs, etc., etc. We talk about social media. Social media is bad and it needs to be this and it needs to be that, etc. And while I do understand the social media argument, and I do think there needs to be some guardrails, totally understand it. There's people out there like my dad. I think I've told you the story before where he hates going to the auto checkout or like the self checkout. He's like, I pay money. Somebody should be, checking me out. And I don't want to take jobs away from teenagers or young adults. Like they need money too. And I'm like, yo, are you joking? Like and I'm going to circle this back to this AI. Whoever used to be at that cash now, or used to be the cash in the past, making, I don't know, minimum wage or $1 over minimum wage, that teenager is now probably like mining Bitcoin and they're probably like worth $500,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? Or they're influencers on Instagram and they're millionaires or whatever. And I say all of this to say, every time I talk about technology, I remind you guys that when radio came out, it was, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? When TV came out, what are we going to do? No one's ever going to leave the house. We're not going to be social. When the internet, when social media, and now with AI. And I say that with every major invention, yes, there will be some jobs lost. Yes, there will be some changes. Yes, there will be some, navigation. But from that will also come something else that we can't even think about right now. And here's the example of the NVIDIA CEO saying, yo, plumbers and carpenters and electricians, they're going to be the multimillionaires because you're going to need so much electricians because everything is going to be computerized. And it's the same thing like with social media. 10 or 15 years ago, you didn't know what an influencer was. Now, I know so many people that are rich just being influencers. And that was something that you never heard about 20 years ago. Look at streamers. You ask any young teenager right now, before back in the day was, I want to be a football player, I want to be a basketball player. Now, everybody wants to be a streamer. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be Kim Kardashian. And when I say everybody, you know what I mean, right? So I just think that, yes, we have to worry about technology. And yes, we have to be careful and make sure there's guardrails. But there are jobs and things that will be around 10 years from now that we're not even thinking will be as important because we don't understand how the world is even going to operate with AI. So I would say my advice is to be smart, be aware that it's coming because you ain't going to stop AI anyway. So complaining about it's not going to do anything. Do your research, learn about it, stay with it, and think how you can live in the new world of AI and how you could fit yourself and be involved in it because it ain't going nowhere. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story. Gucci Mane and Keyshia, his wife, open up about bipolar and dealing with his episodes. Okay, Breakfast Club has a lot of like copyright stuff, so I'm not even going to play with them. They have the episode is on our Instagram page. Like I think it's like 4 minutes. We put it on there. Wow, man! Like y'all know, I just came from being the moderator at the King's Talk at Charlemagne's Mental Wealth Expo, and I'm a huge mental health advocate. What Keyshia did today and what Gucci Mane did today, opening up about bipolar and with her speaking about what she has to deal with marrying somebody that has manic episodes was just beautiful. I know I'm very open. I talk about it in my book. I talk about it on different platforms and on stages and stuff. But I also am fully aware that a lot of people don't like being open about it. When I do talks, I'm indirectly hoping that people that look like me, especially men, will hear me talking about my mental health issues and be at least inspired to go on their own mental health journey and then hopefully, spread the word. And like I said at the Mental Wealth Expo last weekend, I said, I hope in 10 years we don't need a mental wealth expo. Like the reason why we need it now is because we need to break the stigma. But hopefully in 10 years right now, it's so normal and so common that you don't need to be breaking the stigma. And the work that we're doing today will be beneficial in 10 or 15 years from now, or hopefully even 5 years from now. So what Gucci and his wife did, especially his wife, talking about loving and being there for someone, just beautiful. Like I said, forget even the Instagram page. Go to the Breakfast Club's YouTube after my show and watch it. I'm halfway in now. It's an hour interview. I'm like, I think 20, 25 minutes in, but it is beautiful. Keyshia, like, just hats off to you for loving, sticking around and being there and then speaking about it openly and putting your foot down, because dealing with somebody that has bipolar and those episodes are hard. And the thing that is the most difficult is with somebody that has bipolar or other mental health issues, they themselves don't realize when they're in an episode. And that's the most scariest thing about mental health, that the person thinks they're okay. So they can't tell you, for example, like, oh my gosh, I twisted my ankle. And then the pain from your ankle tells you, ooh, don't step on it. Like, that's a good analogy. Think about that. Your body is really smart, right? So you twist your ankle, it's, oh, pain. Oh, don't put pressure. Okay, shoot, if I can't walk, got to go to the hospital, right? Or if you have a stomach ache or whatever. But the scary thing about mental health is that some of the times, or with some of the illnesses, the person doesn't know and there's no sign. So it's up to the people on the outside, and we call them the bodyguards, to know how to deal with and to not abandon the person and to get them help. And depending on how receptive the person is and how aware the person is, you navigate from there. So shout out to Gucci and Keyshia. And this Friday will be our 600th episode. And for my daily listeners, you know that every 100th episode, I take some time out to talk to you about something about me that's personal. Episode 100, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I've always done it. This episode, this 600th episode, I've been thinking, like, what do I do? Because I've been very open with you guys, especially now with memberships. I carve out special things and we do vlogs. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think I might use episode 600 and maybe just take 10 minutes out and give you guys a little bit more information on my mental health and my diagnoses and my experience with it. So let me know in the comment section if that's something that you might be interested in. But I think that is something that I can do for myself, for the mental health community, and for you guys. Hearing about somebody's experience is helpful to you, and also helpful to somebody around you that you might not know is going through something. If you hear it from somebody, it might help you, discover those flags out there. So thinking about it, but that's what I think we're going to do. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right. Our fourth quick story. Bishop Marvin Winans receives backlash for calling out a woman for donating $1,235 instead of the $2,000 like he asked. Okay, here is a quick clip, and then I'll give you guys some details. Take a listen.
I, Roberta McCoy, a seed of $1,000 plus $235.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 100.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Okay. Being the online social media expert that I am, I know after years and years of doing this job that when you see something that's a 10 or 15 second clip, you have to take it with a grain of salt and know that there could be some context before or after that might change your mind. And a lot of people like to just focus on the 10 or 15 second clip. So I went to ChatGPT and I got some information for us because this clip is going super viral, okay? So what do we know? A clip has been circulating online showing Bishop Marvin publicly addressing a woman and apparently her son during a church service for donating $1,235 rather than a pledged $2,000. In the clip, he says something like, et cetera, et cetera. We already know we played it for you. The moment has sparked discussion online. Many are debating whether he was justified or whether the public rebuke was excessive. Some posts connect the content to a fundraising drive at his church for a specific seed or offering amount. For example, one Instagram post says, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision, and sowing the seeds of $1,000 plus $235 and received the $1,235 should be enough. I'm not even sure what that means, but that's what we do know. What we don't know, it's not clearly documented why the $2,000 figure was the amount requested. Was it a stated pledge goal? A suggested donation? A seed needed for a particular project? These details are not well explained in the public post. Whether the woman and her son had agreed in advance to pledge $2,000 explicitly and then gave less, or rather $2,000 was the suggested amount and she chose to give $1,235, the exact arrangement is ambiguous. So we don't know exactly what's going on. Whether the bishop or the church followed up privately or how the matter was addressed after the service, we don't know. The broader context of the fundraiser is also something we don't know. Now, ChatGPT is funny. ChatGPT said, my interpretation and possible reasons are, I found that weird, like ChatGPT is like a person. So ChatGPT's interpretations are, in many circumstances, church sets their seed offering pledge campaigns, or specific amount encouragement for a fundraising drive. It appears the $2,000 amount may have been the target. The bishop may have felt the donation of $1,200, though significant, was short of the ask and thus publicly questioned it. This would stem from the theory of giving. Hey, you said that you would give me, or you committed to $2,000, and then we're not able to come up with the full amount budgeted as planned. The public nature of his comment is what is making the story viral. Many people feel uncomfortable with the public rebuke, especially when money and the person giving it involved. Okay, so that is all to say, did this lady, although that is a donation, was there an arrangement before? And she said, okay, I will go out, do this, and I will get the $2,000. Did she promise that? Whatever, like, we don't know their arrangement. One thing that we can say for certain, though, is regardless of the arrangement, if she was supposed to give the $2,000, maybe he set everything up for her and she would, and it's all her fault. He didn't have to do that publicly. He knows the cameras were on. So if she comes up and she's like, here's 1,000 plus the 235, he should say, okay, thank you. We'll talk about the details later. He didn't have to say, yo, that's not what I asked you for. I asked you for 2,000, right? That's the problem. And that's what, regardless of ChatGPT giving us the background or, being the seeding goal or whatever it is. And even if she did agree to it, as a pastor, you don't publicly call a woman out, especially with her young son beside her. That's not what a leader is supposed to do. So, I mean, this could be like in social discussion, but you guys could, comment below. But I think regardless of the arrangement, it should be like, thank you, sister. Thank you for your donation. We'll talk later. Or whisper, be like, yo, we set the whole 2,000 up. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, he knows the mic and the cameras were on. And that was wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our fifth quick story. Police had to carry NBA YoungBoy to his car in New Orleans when, was in the streets alone with no security. All right, I'll play a small clip. We put this up on our Instagram page. Take a look.
That big top out you. That big top out you. That big top out.
All right, so NBA YoungBoy is back popular than ever. He's in his at his New Orleans show. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were trying to cancel this show. But anyways, he took it upon himself to go in the streets after no security and just wild out. Of course, fans were like all over him. NBA YoungBoy fans are, well, everyone's fans are crazy, but they are extra, extra wild because he is just a wild artist and just how he performs. From what I've been hearing, it's his birthday or was his birthday, and that's why he wanted to just cause a little bit more commotion. But I will say this. Of course, of YoungBoy's, issues, with the court systems and with the police, and they're always trying to shut his stuff down. This is not helping your case, sir. You know what I mean? Like, now your next venue, you're going to be looked upon as, the guy who's coming to our city to cause problems, And yes, it's all over the internet and people are talking about whatever. And what would have happened if the cops weren't out there to save him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I seem like the bearer of like, oh, well, you should do better, whatever, blah, blah. Like, I know he's young and he should have his fun or whatever, but you're endangering other people. And more importantly, he's risking his own money for his other shows. That's more what I'm saying than the fun. Because y'all know I'm the fun guy. Like, do all the fun stuff you want, but not when it's hurting your own pockets. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to everyone's favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. Before we get to that, I have a question for you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. And yes, you are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend out loud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they legally, it's crazy, they legally get your information after you buy something online, and then they sell your data, your information, and they do it without your consent, which should be illegal. And they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, my friends, and the out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door, but keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal data is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is ever found on the dark web, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based round-the-clock customer service in the event that anything does go wrong. Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance package. So you're covered from end to end. All right. Use the link below or the QR code beside me. It is absolutely free for 14 days. If you have ever been interested to see if any of your information is out there, this is how you find out for free. It's free for 14 days. You can see if any of your information is out there. They could take it off for you for free. All right. Click the link below, QR code beside me. Now, also, before we get to comments, I want to tell you about the memberships. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start splitting it up. Instead of doing Aura and memberships, I'm going to do Aura, and then we're going to go to comments, and then we're going to do Out Loud memberships, and then social discussion. Whoop, whoop. See what I did right there? I'm like splitting things up. All right. This comments of the day. I told you guys I'm going to start doing it more randomly, and I'm going on live, doing newest, scrolling up, scrolling down. Scrolling up, scrolling down, and stopping on the first one. And the first one is from Pearl Sugar. She actually put two. I'll read the first one. Oh, hold on. Nicki wants money from Rock Nation and Jay-Z. That's why she alluded to things but doesn't confirm anything. He'll pay her off, which is all she wants. She's not doing it to help others or for any kind of justice or others, only herself. She's part of the industry, and it's just about the money and fame. Watch how this plays out when she gets what she wants. The Rock Nation bashing will stop then. More celebrities should wear Kim's head mask. That's funny. All right, Pearl Sugar, I think I've read one of your comments before. I agree that it started with money. It really started out with Tidal, when Jay-Z started Tidal and he gave everybody part ownership in Tidal. Then as it kind of moved away and didn't work out so well, Nicki was like, hey, you told me you give me a certain amount, give me this, and it just went down from there. So I agree that it has a lot to do with money. I just think it might be past the money stage right now because Jay has enough money to pay her off. I think whatever she was asking, I feel like he decided, yo, I'm not giving it to you. And that's when she went public. It's kind of like the same thing like going into civil court, but Nicki is street and she's like, yo, forget court. I'll just do it online. So they're probably talking, hey, you owe me, 2-3 mil. Yo, give me 10 or I'm just going to say everything about Rock Nation. So I do agree with you. But what I'm not too sure about is I'm not too sure if Jay will pay her off. Now, like I said earlier, this Rock Nation, Desiree Perez and her daughter suing her federally and civilly, that's already a go. So I think Nicki's kind of piggybacking on that. Now, let's say that gets settled. Maybe Jay will be like, all right, the court stuff is settled. Let's just stop the whole Nicki train and he might pay her off. So I do agree with you. I just think maybe it might be beyond that. And also to your point, I don't know if Nicki ever was trying to say, I'm doing this for the greater good of the world. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like how Candace Owens was like, hey, I just want to tell the truth and I want to unearth the truth. Some of you necessarily don't believe it, but I'm saying at least Candace is like, I am a truth teller and I'm doing this for humanity. Where Nikki, I think, has always come off and been like, yo, this is a me and you thing, and I'm going to expose you because of what you did to me, right? It's not really doing it for humanity. But thank you very much for your comment. All right. Before we go to social discussion, just want to tell you guys about the thank you button below and also the Out Loud membership. First of all, is it the first link? Yes, the first link below is Out Loud membership. Love for you guys to sign up. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. And I also do a weekly vlog where I give you guys behind the scenes and more insight to some things in my personal life and things that we do kind of like behind the scenes. All right, so make sure you sign up. Link below. Also, cheat code, if you're on an iPhone, don't use the join button because they charge you an extra $2 or $3. If you're on an iPhone, use the link. If you're on an Android or in your desktop, it doesn't matter what you press, join, link, or whatever, sign up. When you go to sign up, and you'll see there's different memberships. There's Out Louder, then Out Loud Proud, VIP, Family, etc. The first one or even the last one, it gives you the same amount of access. They're just different prices, kind of like a tip menu, depending on how much you love the show and how much you want to support it. All right. So feel free to use any of the tier of those memberships. They all give you the same access. Talking about donating and giving back to the show. A lot of you have asked, hey, if I don't want to become a member, is there any other ways that I could donate? I really like listening to you. I watch you every day, or I watch you on the weekends or whatever. We want to definitely help support the show for the show to continue. Well, there is a button underneath every single video that we put up. You might not always see it, but it's right beside the like, share. There's a remix button, etc. Some of you might have to just scroll over to the left and you'll see a thanks button. It's called Super Thanks. And that is where you can give $2, $3, or whatever amount to the show. Also, the bonus is you get to put a comment with your super thanks, kind of like a super chat when I'm on live. You get to put a comment. Your comment gets highlighted, and it also helps me see your comments for when I'm looking for comments of the day. It helps me also see it quicker. Okay, so for those of you who want to support the show, feel free to use the thanks button or sign up to the Out Loud members. For those of you who want to know more about the thanks, here is YouTube.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right, this brings us now to social discussion of the day. Okay, this is a good one. This is going super, super viral. Where is it here? Did I delete the cover? Oh, here it is. All right. Woman shares emotional moment when she realized her husband doesn't want her. Okay, so there's this girl. Her name is Kiki Jones. Super viral right now. TikTok, Instagram, everyone's talking about her. I can't play the video because she is on vacation. I'll play it beside me without the audio. But she's on vacation. And she posted and she wrote, "The day I realized husband doesn't want me. I kept trying to get his attention. He looked at other girls like he was embarrassed of me." If you go to her Instagram, she put up videos of herself in her bridesmaid dress. And there's another video of her saying about how he doesn't love her anymore, how he's leaving her, and he left her for her best friend. That's why the story is huge. And she's crashing out online. There's a couple of people out there that are making some AI things that she's coming out saying, AI lied, and I'm a content creator, I just did this for views. It's not true. This is a true story, okay? So the social discussion is her putting up the video saying, I feel like this was the moment, because she's reflecting. She's heartbroken. He left her for her best friend. No, she's like, hey, this was the moment I realized, or I should have realized, that he was not into me. He was there looking at other women. Now, if you really study the video, it more looks like she was just drinking and he was kind of just a little bit annoyed. You know what I mean? When somebody's drinking and you're not, and you're just like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. But let's say for argument's sake, that was the time. this brings me to my my topic that I bring up a lot of the times whenever I'm talking about relationships. And I think people overcomplicate relationships. And I think people get into relationships at the wrong times or they rush into them. Now, I kind of deep dove into her story. She has said that she was in bad relationships prior to this, and then she was single for 2 years and wasn't looking for anybody, and this guy came along. And that's why she's even more heartbroken now, because this has happened to her before. But for the guy and for the girl, you have to know within the first couple of months, if you're in a room with other people, your guy or your girl has to always want to pick you to go home with. The minute you feel like there's somebody else in the room, then that's when you know there's a problem. And that goes with the attraction wise, look wise, but also deeper, knowing that, yo, that's my person all the time. And you can know that within the first couple of months. You could see that. Okay, when you're dating, no, whatever. But when you guys are even at the point of seeing each other, repeatedly, when you go out, you could tell what's going on. And I think people overlook that and are like, oh, in time. No, it's not going to happen in time. It should be happening more in the beginning of time. So I bring that in the social discussion to say, do most people get into relationships and overlook the obvious and just get into relationships anyways? Go on these vacations, do all of these things, get married or whatever, and be like, yo, you cheated on me, my best friend. Like, yeah. Like, you have to look back at your old memories and be like, oh, look at us on vacation here on this cruise. He was looking at everybody else. Make sure the person who you're with, it's an analogy, but make sure the person who you're with is the person that you would choose this time and every single time when you are out. And again, not just attraction, but deeper than that, because looks will always fade away. If I ever get married, just know that that person is the person that I will choose every time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. If you're broke, if somebody broke into your house and took what's on top of your fridge, what would they get? Okay, for those of you who think this is a weird question, it is a weird question, but yesterday I told you I'm having a hard time finding questions of the day that's not about love. Every blog site, every question is always a relationship and cheating and this, whatever. And social discussion always ends up being love. So I'm trying to not have social discussion and question of the day be about love all the time, okay? So this is weird, but let's go for it. Somebody said them foil trays for barbecues. The other person said nothing. It's 2025. We don't keep things up there anymore. Facts. But some people do. Some people do. Another person said, oh, Lord, not my cinnamon toast crunch. See, people keep cereal up there. Bread that they can't spend. Bread that they can't spend. Get it? Why did I leave my bedroom to go check what's on top of my fridge? That's funny. 2 cases of ginger ale and some aluminum foil. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're ASS... What? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm on your ASS about my ginger ale. Funny. Somebody says, my golf cart keys, loose change. It's in them bowl things. The person said, my daughter's artwork, I can't throw away because she periodically asks me for them. It's funny. My mama's glass cake stand, she passed down to me. My dad's hat. That person said dust. Absolutely nothing, maybe a little dust though. Cereal cutting boards and some of my food storage bins. Cereal, potatoes. You eat potatoes on top of your fridge? My custom Chucky and Tiffany Starbucks cup. I knew this was weird, but Somebody said probably dust, etc. Somebody said nothing. Bills. It's funny. My air fryer. Somebody said disappointment. That's funny. All right. Hand sanitizer in a lunch bag. Dust. Sugar, flour, cereal. Let me know. I have there's a cupboard on top of my fridge. My fridge has things like cupboard stuff all around it. It fits in, so I can't put anything on top of my fridge. But let me know if you have one of those fridges where there's room to put stuff on top of it. Let me know what's on top of your fridge. It's a weird question, but I'm sure somebody will come up with something good. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all. That is a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for kicking with me. I thought we had fun today. Come on. Round of applause for the Turn Out Loud show. Before I let you guys go, I want to remind you of a few things. Keep some housekeeping. Please click the first link below and sign up for our Out Loud membership. Really fun, a lot of exclusive things, and it's just cool to be a member of the Out Loud community, all right? So use the link below, or like I said, if you're not on Apple, there's a membership button, etc. And there's different tiers, all gives you the same access. 2, also, do not forget, for those who do not want to be members, that's totally cool. But for those of you who still want to support, there is the thank you button. They should call it thank you, but not just thanks. But anyways, scroll over, slide a little to the left. You'll see it beside share, like, etc. Remix. I think there's a remix button there. Click that thanks button. You'll be able to donate support to the show. And the beauty of it is that you get to leave a comment. It gets highlighted. And we'll definitely will not miss any super thanks comments. All right. So make sure that you use the super thanks if you would like. Also, the second link below is Aura, or the QR code beside me. If you've ever shopped online, trust me, your information is out there. It is sad. It should be illegal, but it is not. And there's people out there, data brokers, that could take your information. The new hustle out there is selling your house before you even have time to realize it. The deed is no longer in your name and you're out. All of these things can happen. Aura can help you for free with the second link below or the QR code beside me. Absolutely free for 14 days. Make sure y'all sign up. Lastly, for those of you who may not know everywhere the show is at, I want to remind you of all the ways that you can keep up to date with the Turn Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen to your shows, we're available on all podcast platforms. Just go to any podcast site, type in Turn Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload 7 days a week. We're working hard for y'all. Now, if you're like me and you like video content, head on over to YouTube, type in Turn Out Loud. 5 things, well now 6 things I'm going to need you to do. Hit that subscribe and that like button, get the algorithming. Then 3, please try to comment. You guys are my co-hosts. I do this show with you. Yes, we get the topics. I give you my opinion first, but then I hand it over to you. If you guys don't comment, I'm literally talking to myself here, and that's just not cool. For those of you who don't want to join in on a conversation, that's totally understandable. But this is a global show, and I love to see where you guys are watching from. So please let me know the country and city you are watching from. 4th, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it, the share button, with your family, friends, and loved ones. It helps them grow in the channel, and we're here to grow the channel. 5th, sign up for that Out Loud membership and become an Out Louder today. And 6, please try to support the show. We work hard for you. Use that thank button below. Support, any amount is always, always appreciated. Thank you very much. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. And it's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please follow us at the Trend Out Loud Show on the gram. All of the stories that we talk about here on the show, mostly all of them, we post up on our Instagram page. On YouTube, we can't always play things if there's music or copyright issues or the subject is too harsh for YouTube. So it's good if you follow that Instagram page because you get to see the videos in their entirety, get the whole understanding. By the time you watch the show, you're already looped in, and then we hand it off to you to comment below. All right. So make sure you follow that page to be more looped in and inclusive in the Trend Out Loud show. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for kicking it with me, and have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!